hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse about 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, "Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?"
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have black husbands, we both have black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets bringing attention to the injustices of black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
Oh,
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom Georgia, a new black city.
We don't intend for it to be exclusively black, but we do intend for it to be pro-black in every way.
Jessica Gordon-Amard is an economist and an expert on black collectives.
I've found tremendous benefits to individuals, families, and the communities that are involved in it, including, the economic stability and prosperity, but also leadership development, social capital development, other kinds of human capital development. And so it's really a win-win for everybody involved to be involved.
The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country. The plan is to introduce farming next, create a lake for sustainable fishing, facilities for recreation, and eventually develop a fully operational, expanded city.
By being able to create a community that is thriving, that is safe, that has agriculture and commercial businesses that are supporting one another, and that dollars circulating in our community, that is our vision. And to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy.
Victor Blackwell, CNN, Wilkinson County, Georgia.
We're so honored that the press will be here with us today to talk about purchasing 96.71 acres of land. Our infant mortality rate, special needs, we have to solve our own problems. The support we need. Oh, yeah. Tavana from Guapcoin, come on up here.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. We got here last night, me and my two oldest children, and it's been a beautiful experience. Black love, black upliftment, and I've never seen anything like this in Chicago. We don't really camp in Chicago, least of all having big black campouts, so we had to see what this was about, and it was more than worth the drive. Oh my God, I'm just so happy to be here and that my children are experiencing this too. This is beautiful, it really is.
The reality is our future is about building and bringing other black businesses here to help us build this out. That's what our plans are. Because when we talk about a Black Wall Street, what it really means is making sure that our brothers at Worthen RV Park are able to benefit, and that our sister at Mobile Enterprises is able to benefit, and that when we spend our dollars here to develop this, that these brothers back here at Community by Solutions by Design and Moses Studios, who did this wonderful rendering, that they benefit. We all keep that money circulating in our community. So that's the first thing that we want to do, along with agriculture, because we have to farm. We have to begin to have food sources for our people. This is a food desert where we are in Toomsboro, Georgia. And so being able to farm, to be able to bring jobs, those are the things that are important to us.
My personal political philosophy, Black Nationalism, which means that the black man should control the politics of his own community and control the politicians who are in his own community. My personal economic philosophy is also Black Nationalism, which means that the black man should have a hand in controlling the economy of the so-called Negro community. He should be developing the type of knowledge that will enable him to own and operate the businesses and thereby be able to create employment for his own people, for his own kind. And the social philosophy also is Black Nationalism, which means that instead of the black man trying to force himself into the society of the white man, we should be trying to eliminate from our own society the ills and the defects and make ourselves likable and sociable among our own kind.
頼るべきものはない。本土の援助はもうないんだ。我々は今こそ力を集めなきゃいけない。我々だけでこの土地の中で生きていかなければならないんだ。嘆いてる暇はない。一刻も早く一致団結。
近くの農場の人に話はしておいたから。ありがとうございます。一人で平気？ずっとやってましたから。じゃあ行ってきます。行ってらっしゃい。
Free Max B. Watching stars when they up. So don't you confide into the evil and corrupt. This is urgent. Apex on the verdicts. Tonight we serving serpents. Cause they always be behind in the cut. Always in the skies watching stars when they up. So don't you confide into the evil and
any other race. Now Africa's been sleeping, not dead, only sleeping. Today Africa's walking around not only on our feet but on our brains. You can enslave as was done for 300 years the bodies of men. You can shackle the hands of men. You can shackle the feet of men. You can imprison the bodies of men. But you cannot shackle or imprison the minds of men. I shall teach the black man. I shall teach the black man to see beauty in his own kind and stop bleaching his skin and otherwise looking like what he's not. Back in the days of slavery, race mixture, miscegenation had occurred because the African woman had no protection from the slave master. Therefore, there is no need today for black people to themselves freely continue a practice that smacks so much of slavery. And you have been so darned lazy that you have allowed the other fellow to run away with the whole world, and now he's bluffing you and telling you that the world belongs to him and that you have no part in it. I don't have to apologize to anybody for being black, because God Almighty knew exactly what he was doing when he made me black. If black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves. Yes, you heard of Johnny Walker Red and Black. Well, he had his adversities, but he's still going strong. Well, I intend with your help and God's grace to continue, because my work has only just begun. And future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time, but we shall wait patiently for 200 years, if need be, to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foes of African. Then count on me to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a plague or a pestilence or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Will I not go to hell 1,000,000 times for you? If I die in Atlanta, my work will only just then begin. For I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessings to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm. Look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life.
What do you want?
Ah, good sir. I suppose you could say I'm looking for technical support.
Now, do we have a visitor?
Yes, sir. And I believe this is the man who basically killed our entire race.
Now, listen to me. You are Namek's #1 son, a prodigy child. You have been trained in the ancient ways. I believe in you.
You mean that, Lord Guru?
Yes, Nail. Now show him the staggering spirit of Namek, and waste his smug ass.
Yes, sir! Follow me!
Where do people go for information before cable news?
We can do it like we did back in the day. We'll go into the streets and tell the people.
The president will stop lying, black babies will stop crying, and young brothers will stop dying. I wish the police will stop killing, politicians stop stealing and acting like they not dealing when they know they got bricks in the street at the country club fixing it.